From the High Definition Educational Broadcast Center at Bergen Community College's main campus in Paramus, this is Studio Bergen.
Hi everyone, I'm Larry Levanka and welcome to the annual Year in Review show of Studio Bergen. Think of this episode as an annual report or yearbook for 2014. In a very real way, 2014 served as the year that Bergen reasserted itself as a national leader in the community college sector. One way to become a national leader, of course, is to take care of business at home, right? And that's what the college did when it became the state's top associate degree granting institution, forging ahead of its Monmouth County peer, Brookdale Community College. The data compiled by Community College Week saw Bergen surge to the top of the state on the strength of a 13% year-over-year increase in graduates. Bergen awarded degrees to 2,222 students in the class of 2013, placing it 29th among all two-year institutions in the U.S. From number one in New Jersey to number one in the nation in our next item. Over the summer, the college received word from the National College Learning Center Association that the Cerullo Learning Assistance Center won its Frank L. Christ Outstanding Learning Center Award, which recognizes tutoring center excellence, making Bergen home to the best two-year tutoring center in the country. Center Managing Director Kyra Fazal discussed why.
One of the criteria of winning this award is how your tutoring program integrated within the whole college community. And this program, and I'm very fortunate to have the support of faculty, counselors, and staff to make this as successful as it is.
Okay. Bergen represents the first New Jersey school, 4 or 2 year, to earn the award. Past honorees include Clemson, Texas A&M, and Dutchess Community College. The Cerullo Learning Assistance Center hosted more than 40,000 subject-specific and individualized tutoring visits in 240 courses last year. Approximately 7,000 students relied on a team of 150 professional and peer tutors employed by the Cerullo Center to assist them via no-cost, one-on-one, walk-in, and in-class tutoring. On the national scene, the federal government also tapped Bergen to take a leadership role in administrating a $15 million grant to train the next generation of health professionals. The announcement came on the heels of construction ramping up on the $26 million Health Professions Integrated Teaching Center at main campus. As part of the grant, Bergen will lead a consortium of 12 two-year colleges, more than 20 employers, and 10 workforce investment boards in administrating the grant to help educate and place approximately 2,000 students into jobs. Of the 71 grantees selected for the $400 million Trade Adjustment Assistance Community College and Career Training Grants, the Bergen-led group received the 4th highest award. Bergen's standing as the region's leading healthcare educator received further support when the college cut the ribbon on its newest health professions program, Paramedic Science. The program, the first of any academic discipline available exclusively at Bergen Community College at the Meadowlands, will allow current EMTs to take the next step in their careers toward becoming paramedics. Also last year, the college made numerous commitments to national initiatives. One such commitment was signing a nationwide initiative to double the number of U.S. students studying abroad by 2019. More than 150 schools have signed the pledge, spearheaded by the Institute of International Education's Generation Study Abroad program, but Bergen remains one of less than a dozen community or county colleges to do so. Dean of Arts, Humanities, and Wellness, Amparo Cotting, who coordinates the college's study abroad initiatives, discussed what the program will help Bergen accomplish for students.
It is significant because it is going to give us the opportunity to allow students to participate in study abroad programs other than summer and semester programs. Right now we belong to a consortium and we send our students through the consortium model. So they can go for 4 weeks in the summer, 8 weeks in the summer, and then they can spend an entire semester. And these programs tend to be a little bit expensive for our students. So by joining Generation Study Abroad, it's going to give us the opportunity to develop our own faculty-led study abroad programs.
Bergen also continued taking the lead in initiatives to combat student hunger, an evolving issue in higher education. In December, President B.K. Walter signed the President's Commitment to Food and Nutrition Security Pledge initiated by Auburn University, making Bergen the only two-year institution to do so. President Walter joined officials from 55 universities such as Cornell, Michigan State, and Tufts at a December event at the United Nations. The pledge creates a blueprint defining higher education's role in combating hunger. Of course, earlier in the year, the college and the Bergen County nonprofit, the Center for Food Action, opened a food pantry at the Paramus campus. Student Kiana Main visited with me a few months ago to praise the pantry's efforts.
I've seen not only myself, but I know so many other people who have gone through times where they don't have food to eat, and so many other college students in Bergen County who, because of, college debt and everything else, they don't have, food to eat at times.
And finally, through the institutional lens, Bergen continued its work in advance of its Middle States accreditation coming up next year. Self-study group co-chair Soni Tiwari told us why Middle States matters.
It's not a self-serving exercise. Reaccreditation, it allows students to transfer their credits when they're considering four-year colleges. Reaccreditation, it gives a certain legitimacy to teaching and research efforts of our faculty. Reaccreditation, it gives grant money to students, to faculty, to facilities here, and any other innovative educational initiatives that we're trying to move forward.
Turning our attention to the college's continued focus of student success, 2014 featured no shortage of it. At the college's capstone event celebrating student success and the commitment to completion, commencement, the largest class in the college's history, 2,862 students, had the opportunity to turn their tassels. The class included 66 students who earned 4.0 GPAs, a mother and daughter, both earning degrees, and students representing dozens of countries. The college's top achieving student in the class of 2014, valedictorian Maria de Abreu Pineda, used her opportunity to thank her friends, family, and offer words to live by for her peers.
To my fellow graduates, success is not an accident. Open your eyes and ears. When you go up, bring someone along with you. Break the mold. Be unique. Be different. Do the impossible. It's kind of fun. Find a passion and pursue it. Dream big. Laugh every day. Believe in magic. Be creative. Improvise. Spend time with people you admire. Love with all your heart. Never give up. Do what causes you to get goosebumps. Make time to enjoy the simple things in life. Get a coffee or a chocolate or a tea. Forgive even when it's hard. Don't complain. Smile often. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Follow your intuition. Work hard. Trust yourself. Be thankful. Be nice to everyone. Be happy. Make every moment count. And above all, make your world a better place.
Valedictorian and fellow grad Anna Paravera represented two of the brightest stars at a commencement full of them. The pair took home the top prize as part of the Jack Kent Cook Foundation's 2014 Undergraduate Transfer Scholarship Program. More than 3,700 students applied for the award, the nation's largest community college scholarship, worth up to $90,000 over 3 years. Just 2% of applicants were selected. Before they turned their tassels, though, students like Maria and Anna participated in the graduation salute, an opportunity for grads to settle outstanding issues, meet with four-year college reps, and participate in the always popular cap decorating station. Prior to the big day, students also took part in various award ceremonies celebrating their unique forms of success. The The college celebrated its highest achieving students at the annual Academic Awards ceremony, which recognizes students who participated in the Judith K. Wynn School of Honors or graduated as the top student in their academic discipline. Academic Awards remained one of many year-end ceremonies hosted by the departments and groups at the college. Others included the annual Nursing Pinning Ceremony, the Tutoring Awards, the EOF Awards, Athletic Awards, Respiratory Therapy Awards, Club Leadership Awards, and the Dental Hygiene Pinning and Graduate Tea. The chief leaders of student success, the college's chapter of Phi Theta Kappa, the honor society of two-year colleges, also had a banner year in 2014. 225 students joined the ranks as part of the largest class in the college's history. During the same month, PTK energized the student body by encouraging them to commit to complete, the rallying cry of the organization to push students to excel. Students that graduate from community colleges have much better outcomes at four-year institutions than peers that transfer without graduating. Student Kelsey Deeg of Phi Theta Kappa said that's why she got involved.
College completion is really important because a lot of kids get lost with the everyday life of college, family issues, especially at community college. So we want to promote that you can push through that and complete your education.
Other events included the statewide Commit to Complete Conference, which took place at Bergen Community College at the Meadowlands. Chapter President Rhonda Richardson said Bergen students often break the mold of what many view a community college capable of achieving.
Bergen has a reputation of being a great community college, and that's why I'm here. And it does that. It's a great community college with awesome resources here. And students are taking advantage of it. And we see that with our numbers. They're trying to be successful, and Phi Theta Kappa is something where they can be successful.
For the chapter's exceptional work at PTK's Nerd Nation annual convention, student Lauren DeLuca accepted the 2014 Distinguished Chapter Member Award, an honor earned by only 30 students. She also ranked among the 37 students selected to the New Jersey All-State Academic Team, sponsored by the Coca-Cola Foundation, the New Jersey Education Association, and PTK. Fellow student Angie Goldschmidt, who now works for the college, joined her on the team. Meanwhile, and also at the Nerd Nation Conference, Professor Win-Win Key accepted the 2014 Distinguished Advisor Award. The annual speech competition also stood as a gleaming example of student achievement. A field of 73 students completed in the event that featured more than $4,000 in prize money. Speech competition director Jane Phelps announced the winner.
And the President's Award for Best Speaker, that's $1,000, goes to Jason Lazar for the speech on bullying.
Students and staff also had a hand in creating the world's largest marshmallow snowman. Yes, you heard me, marshmallow snowman. There's more science to building a marshmallow snowman than you'd probably think, too. Toasty, the signature piece of the Shops at Riverside and the Hackensack Regional Chamber of Commerce Super Saturday at the Shops in February, was a creation of Bergen staff and students who designed the plans and gathered the necessary materials. Student-led design skills also highlighted the horticulture program's holiday open house. Turning our attention to the sports page, student athletes stood out in every season. Slick fielding second-year infielder James Donahue, who now attends Queens College, learned last summer that he earned the college's first NJCAA ABCA Rawlings Gold Glove Award for stellar defensive play. Donahue notched 43 putouts, 64 assists, and 6 double plays, making only 1 error. Unlike some defensive specialists, he also started the plate, hitting .355 and tying for the team lead in runs scored with 21. Donahue's postseason honors included spots on the All-Region and All-Conference second teams. Also, 2 Bergen wrestlers earned spots at the 2014 NJCAA Wrestling National Championship. Mike Amaro capped the coast-to-coast trip by placing 7th in a field of 32 en route to notching one of 8 All-America bids. Competing in the 197-pound class, Amaro finished the tournament 5-2. His only losses came at the hands of the first and fourth place finishers. Stephen Orlick, 149 pounds, also earned a trip to the tournament, but fell short in both of his matches. Students also got the best of faculty and staff when they faced off in a friendly volleyball game in January. In other news, Bergen officials signed numerous agreements with local organizations and schools to provide new opportunities. The biggest occurred when the college joined with the Bergen County Technical Schools to sign an agreement establishing the Applied Technology High School residing at the college's main campus. The four-year high school program will allow students to earn college credits that can be applied toward an associate degree at Bergen, enabling them to enter the workforce as engineering support technologists or matriculate to a four-year college to earn a bachelor's degree in a related engineering or technology field. With a deal inked over the summer, the process for transferring to Ramapo College of New Jersey got a little easier too. In June, vice presidents from both institutions formalized an agreement for STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics majors, essentially permitting Bergen graduates utilizing the program to enter Ramapo as juniors. A less conventional but certainly beneficial deal for workforce development and career training occurred when officials signed an agreement with Jersey Tractor Trailer Training, Inc. to enable local residents to earn both a commercial driver's license and a general education diploma as part of the joint program offered by the organizations. The agreement, inked in January by Bergen President Dr. Walter and Jersey Tractor Trailer Training President Bill Oliver, was forged by the college's Division of Continuing Education and Assemblyman Gordon M. Johnson. And finally, with regard to agreements, 2014 marked the year the Bergen County Historical Society Library and Archives found a home, thanks to the college, of course, bringing with it more than 300 years of documents, publications, and artifacts. The library opened at the Philip J. Ciarco Jr. Learning Center. The agreement establishes a permanent location for the facility, which first opened in Hackensack before moving to various locations throughout the county. Before college officials stepped in, the library's archives were boxed and in storage. The library, a learning resource for Bergen students, faculty, and staff, maintains a collection of more than 4,000 items. In that same vein of giving back to the community, Bergen once again made practice a priority. For its efforts and 634 students completing 35,000 hours of community service last year, Bergen made the President's Higher Education Community Service Honor Roll for the 7th consecutive time. The list recognizes institutions that have incorporated service learning programs into their curricula and campus environment. Bergen represents one of only 3 New Jersey community colleges on the 2014 list. In continued partnership with the Hackensack University Medical Center, service-minded student leaders joined President Walter and Vice President of Academic Affairs, Dr. Bill Mullaney, the John Thieroth Cancer Center to donate handmade winter hats. Also, Bergen students and staff gave back as part of the nationwide Giving Tuesday initiative in December. Volunteer knitters organized by the Division of Continuing Education and the Bergen County Technical Schools gave the homeless the gift of warmth, approximately 50 scarves, hats, and blankets. Another service activity returned for another year at Bergen, too. Give Kids a Smile Day, sponsored by the Dental Hygiene Program. Dental Hygiene Program students like Delcy Barara gave more than 36 students and parents a reason to grin with free oral exams, cleanings, and the occasional filling in the school's dental hygiene clinic. Bergen's Dental Hygiene Program offers low-cost oral health care available to the community throughout the year. Health profession students also took the lead in generating awareness about organ donation. First-year student Courtney Dock said the topic is often misunderstood.
The biggest thing is one person can help save 8 people with their internal organs, their eyes, their corneas. There's so many parts of the body that can be donated, and a lot of people aren't aware that those options are available.
In the spring, students continued a tradition that began a few years ago with the now annual Spark Change Anti-Bullying and Suicide Prevention Walk. At the event, more than 150 students and members of the community walked in a morning rally to raise support for the 2 causes. Also, the fall's Youth Empowerment Through Academics and Sports featured a full-day seminar featuring workshops, socialization, and a co-ed basketball game for prospective students. Local leaders, such as the NBA's Bill Willoughby, spoke to the students. And finally, for its reaching out into the community, the Commerce and Industry Association of New Jersey recognized the Paramus Bergen Community College Rotary with the Inspirational Good Works Award for its charitable efforts. Since the chapter's inception 6 years ago, the college's Rotarians have conducted events such as a luncheon for veterans and a fundraiser that netted $2,000 for the Ramapo Bergen Animal Refuge. Coming up after a short break, we'll talk more about 2014. I'm Larry Levanka.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 68 children is diagnosed with autism. That's about a 30% increase in 2 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
All right, I know this isn't any fun to talk about, but we should. Okay, so who's gonna do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice.
And I'll try to get the generator going without any gas.
Oh, let's not forget the cell phones, which probably won't work.
Right.
And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
Well, I think we couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
Today, 1 out of every 4 American kids is Hispanic. That means many of the future doctors who will care for us, the engineers who will build our cities, the scientists and entrepreneurs of our country can be your kids. We all know how hard it is for you to send them to college. This is why we want you to know you are not alone. And every day more people support you to make it happen. Many support you. And the Hispanic Scholarship Fund helps you prepare, plan, and pay for your kids' college education. hsf.net.
Wake the sun, tell him that I've begun to dream of things to come, and tell the trees not to look for me. I'm going to find some peace of mind. Wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun, wake the sun.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Congrats on paying off all those student loans.
Finally, right?
I'm kind of living paycheck to paycheck right now.
Well, have you tried saving?
Bill collectors, they're the worst. Am I right?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Welcome back to Studio Bergen. I'm Larry Levanka. The college's in-house nonprofit, the Bergen Community College Foundation, once again supported student, faculty, and staff causes in 2014. Standing at the top of its efforts is the annual Scholarship Awards. Dr. Walter discussed the importance of donors and the significance of the day.
Today is probably the only other day that I find happier or as happy as a day in May, which is our commencement day. Because today is a day that we honor students for the great work that they do.
Students like Michael Naring said the ability to earn scholarships makes an everlasting impact.
I didn't really think about applying because I was like, too much competition, there are definitely too many applicants, I don't have the credentials. But then once I became involved in Phi Theta Kappa, I was really pushed to apply for a scholarship. And when I got a letter in the mail, I was really surprised and very happy that I had some money to pay for next semester.
The foundation also distributed more than $134,000 to 103 students at the Mid-Year Scholarship Awards in December at Bergen Community College at the Meadowlands. Making scholarships possible was the 2014 Medallion Awards Dinner, a gala event at the Rockley. Donors generously contributed more than $120,000 towards student scholarships. As part of the foundation's annual alumni outreach, numerous grads were recognized for their contributions as well. At the 5th Annual Alumni Dinner in October, the event honored Alumni Network founder Stephen Chung, Assistant to the Athletic Director Elaine Karinko, Vice President of Facilities Planning, Operations, and Public Safety William Corcoran, and Associate Professor Joseph Sivo. Honoree Elaine Karinko, an alumnus and longtime employee, reflected on Bergen's positive influence on her life.
When I was reflecting on what I wanted to say tonight, my mind was flooded with so many memories. The common thread in those memories, and the thing that stood out to me initially as a student so long ago, was how much people at Bergen Community College went above and beyond to care about me and to nurture me.
More than 48,500 students have graduated from Bergen since its 1965 inception. Also at the inaugural Athletic Alumni Appreciation Night, grads from every decade were treated to an evening of hoops. Past stars such as Mickey Hayes, class of 2011, returned as the guest of honor. Hayes led the nation in rebounding during her final year at Bergen, notching more than 19 per game. She reflected on her time here.
Everybody was so involved and it felt like home almost to me. So, I mean, I'm at a college now and I just still don't get that Bergen feel, so I really miss it.
Of course, where would those alumni be without the esteemed Bergen faculty? They too had a banner year in 2014. Professor Keith Chu earned the 2013-14 NISOD Excellence Award honoree for his efforts in the classroom.
I knew it was a competitive award. It's a very prestigious award, so I guess I was surprised. I was honored, and I was thankful. I was thankful that faculty and my colleagues around the college know who I am and appreciate my work. So it was a sense of I was ecstatic to learn, obviously, that I had been chosen, but I was also I was also thankful, I think, to them for this recognition.
Also, Professor Rachel Wieland received the John and Sue Ann Rausch Excellence Award for her work with the college's student-comprised Green Team. And then there was the nursing faculty, which, led by Margaret Hayes, took home the league's Innovation of the Year Award for their integrating video into their coursework.
I didn't know how it was going to go. However, I didn't even know how I was going to like it because I'd never done it before. It was just an idea that I had. And we got grant money to get the cameras. And that was maybe 3 years ago, I guess. and we started to do it. And I really was hoping it would work. It sounded like a good idea, but I didn't know if it would or not. And the other faculty, and there are quite a few of them, because in level 1, we have quite a few faculty who help with the validations and the labs and our clinical conference time and clinical in the hospital. So I presented it to them, and none of them were opposed to trying it, but some didn't really think it was going to work. And then I got a phone call one day from one of the instructors who really was unsure of it. You know, she said she'd try it, but she didn't really think much of it. She called up and said, "I love this. This is great." And it really is. I didn't get any negative comments from the faculty. They pretty much enjoyed it.
Professor Win-Win Key made headlines when she visited her native country, Myanmar, as an invited guest of parliamentarians and the Attorney General to lend guidance for those shaping national legislation combating their fractured educational system. Key provided expertise on the topic of inclusionary education and equality for all learners. The country's president, U Thein Sein, received her findings. As for Professor Jim Baumgartner, his work earned him the recognition as the Skyline Theater Company's 2014 Horizon Award honoree. At the group's annual Concert of the Stars February Gala, the professor was lauded for his support of the arts. In addition to teaching at Bergen, Baumgartner produces Bergen Stages, the college's theater production series, every year. Faculty Janet Henderson and Ian Ehrlich joined a select group of peers as they earned entry into the Mid-Career Fellowship Program at Princeton University. The program, developed for community college professors in New Jersey, enables participants to take courses at Princeton during the 2014-15 academic year. Program fellows study alongside peers, conduct topical research, and meet monthly to discuss issues in higher education. Meanwhile, and thanks to the efforts of Professor Tom LaPointe, the New Jersey Commission on Holocaust Education recently named the Center for Peace, Justice, and Reconciliation at Bergen Community College as an official state Holocaust and Genocide Research Center. Through Professor Sarah Schertz's leadership, dozens of Bergen faculty joined their peers from Pennsylvania and New York at the annual Tri-State Best Practices Conference in March. More than 100 faculty presenters from 20 different 2- and 4-year colleges throughout Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey shared successful strategies for connecting to students, colleagues, and the community. Dr. Davis Jenkins of Columbia University provided the keynote address. And finally, former faculty also received honors last year by earning the rank of Professor Emeritus. Dr. Charles McNerney and Marjorie Webster were added to the veritable Faculty Hall of Fame this year. Webster served as the Faculty Senate Secretary for 25 years and led commencement 2013 as the Grand Marshal. McNerney began at Bergen in 1969 and helped lead the college into the computer age. He stands as one of the first instructors to teach online. Both have continued to serve the institution by founding the Retired Employees Association with fellow retiree Peggy O'Neill. The event's MC, Dr. Gary Porter, reflected on their careers.
When thinking about Charlie and Marge, as they're known to all of us, several words came to mind. They are persons who acted dignified. They were very respectful to all the people they had worked with. They were pleasant, they were hardworking, and they were extremely dedicated. Words that were spoken loudly in the recommendations that we approved.
The college also welcomed 3 new Board of Trustee members in 2014. Interim Executive County Superintendent of Schools for Bergen County, Nora Peck, Irene Ojo, and Alumni Trustee Victoria Tahan. In other leadership news, Dr. Ursula Parrish Daniels, the Executive Assistant to the President, received the Education Award from Positive Community Magazine at the group's evening gala for her more than 30 years of service and commitment to students. Every year, a number of big-name speakers and guests make their way to Bergen to deliver inspiration and guidance. 2014 was no different. Appropriately, perhaps the biggest speaker delivered the keynote address at commencement 2014. American Express CEO and Chair Ken Chenault.
My philosophy is that corporations exist because society allows them to exist. In exchange, there must be an understanding that we will contribute to society. And that's what many of us in the business world are increasingly trying to do. But business is just one avenue to serve.
Also, New Jersey's First Lady, Mary Pat Christie, visited in July to honor Eric Fuchs Stengel, the latest New Jersey Heroes inductee. Bergen rocked out when the Doors drummer John Densmore visited in the spring. Faculty even got to play as his bandmates.
Riders on the storm, riders on the storm. Turn this house will burn, turn this world will thrown.
Rhythm and blues was also the topic of the day at the first Summer Music Festival, which featured industry headliners and Bergen faculty, staff, and students alike. Attorney Roy Cho, who ran for a seat in the U.S. House of Representatives this year, discussed the challenges of being a so-called model minority during Asian Americans in suburbia.
You're a minority, you come here, and you're told to play by the rules as a minority, you're told to work hard and kind of be the model minority, and I think that has ramifications. So the ramifications that exist for minorities, I think, also exist for other groups like women, for example, where there's still an unwillingness to step forward and be aggressive about what you want because of societal perceptions and how they may impact how others perceive you to be. You never want to be too ambitious, you never want to be too overeager. I think these are the stereotypes that really impact women in the workforce, but also impact minorities in the workforce.
Bergen mania ran wild when WWE wrestler, Harvard graduate, and attorney David Otunga visited in April to discuss the dangers of stereotypes, a life he has known all too well. Meanwhile, feminist punk rock icon Kathleen Hanna appeared during Women's History Month. Poet Mary Ruefle, an honored guest of the 2014 Literary Arts Series, read from her work, The Refrigerator.
There is the sound of peaceful breathing in a far cranny where mouths all over the body break into smiles.
A different kind of poetic expression, art, once again filled Gallery Bergen at various points during the year too, including Pets, Beasts, and Dinner. TEDx returned for another year as well. The event, directed by English professor Ellen Feig, features short lectures on a variety of topics given by field experts. Bergen remains one of only 20 colleges in the world to earn a TEDx license. Foodies got their fill at the first ever Gourmet Food Truck Festival in May that drew large crowds to the Paramus campus. Meanwhile, the creative expressions of Bergen students and staff highlighted the second annual Rip the Runway fashion show in November. Faculty and staff took time out of their normal schedule to participate in the annual Days of Development in the spring and fall. Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Nadine Gonzalez de Jesus, hosted a listening session over pepperoni during pizza with the VP at all three campuses. The college joined with the nation in recognizing servicemen and women on Veterans Day as well. As part of the yearly remembrance, veterans walking hand in hand with civilian members of the college community proceeded to the flagpole at main campus. The Stars and Stripes also played a prominent role on September 11th, when Professor Tom LaPointe reflected on the day's significance.
I would say to you that this is why we're here. Because we are here inside the space of the gap. We are here inside the womb. We inhabit the cut in our willingness to come together in this space at this time for no other reason except to remember those who perished and to honor those who helped others to survive.
The college recognized Black History Month in February with speakers like Dr. Marcia Cantarella, an educator, author, and daughter of civil rights leader Whitney M. Young, Jr. She discussed her father's impact on creating jobs in corporate America by breaking through the glass ceiling between white executives and black workers.
Thanks to my father's efforts, the Harlem Y was able to launch its annual dinner honoring black executives. In 1973, I was one of the recipients of that honor for my work as a manager at Avon. Ultimately, I rose to be one of the youngest person at the director level at Avon before I moved on to the path that led me to academics. So the men, and they were not only all white, but all male, that my father worked with over the years, created new opportunities for black folks and also for women.
During Latino Heritage Month, PepsiCo executive Ricardo Montanez, who rose from a janitor to an executive leading the company's multicultural sales and community promotions, told students his inspiring story and encouraged them to strive to succeed.
This is what I want to tell you. Fall in love with yourself, because when you fall in love with yourself, there's a freedom to be yourself. I have to worry about anybody giving you permission. Sometimes when I'm speaking to thousands, I always sense, you know what, there's somebody in the room that, you know what, you want to be great, but you feel that you need somebody's permission. I'm here to tell you, you don't need anybody's permission to be great. And if you feel like you need it, well, guess what? I'm here to give you permission. You have my permission to be great.
Women's History Month brought author Evelyn McDonald to discuss her work. Reading from her book, Queens of Noise, The Real Story of the Runaways, the all-female rock band fronted by Joan Jett, McDonald talked about the origins.
On a summer day in 1975, Joan Larkin picked up her Sears Silvertone guitar and boarded a bus in Canoga Park, a Los Angeles suburb in the northern part of the San Fernando Valley. The girl with the Susie Quattro haircut was 16 but didn't have a driver's license. Her destination? Huntington Beach, in the heart of what architecture critic Raina Bannon once dubbed surfurbia.
The Suburban Studies Group continued its efforts with events such as Downtowns in Suburbia with panelists from local economic centers.
It's far more than a place for me and many people to do business. It's a place for everybody to get.
Tolerance and understanding were the word at the college's first Transgender Awareness Day, with a panel discussion featuring Garden State Equality Executive Director Andy Bowen. Science, technology, engineering, and math faculty and students had a year to remember too, with a number of events and initiatives that made news. The STEM Summit showcased the talents of faculty, students, and staff from 4- and 2-year schools that have undertaken STEM-related research or special projects. While Teen STEM Day brought more than 1,000 teenagers from 18 Bergen County high schools to the main campus to participate in nearly 3 dozen hands-on STEM workshops, such as being a veterinarian, hosted by Bergen faculty, students, and industry professionals. During STEM Career Day, current students learned how a career in the field can open doors. And of course, if you've heard buzzing overhead, that's just our resident drones manned by the STEM Club. And what would a wrap-up of 2014 be without a whiteout? You don't remember? Due to snow and ice storms, the college lost 5.5 instructional days. My back certainly won't forget it. For Bergen Community College, this was 2014. I'm Larry Levanka.